This is almost the end of January, but I think we can learn a lot if we take a look at what sold the most on stock agencies in 2018. Hello creators, welcome again to another episode of Creative Income. As you already know, this is the place for us to learn together how to achieve financial freedom through creative ways. My initial focus is stock footage and stock photography, so if you are interested on this topic, be sure to hit subscribe. Today I want to show a bunch of the best-selling video and image files of 2018. This should give you cool insights into how successful contributors approach subjects and also cool visual insights. A common feeling that I see among new contributors and creators wondering if they should start selling stock footage or stock photography is this: I don't know if I'm good enough, or if I have time enough, or even if I'm in the right location to make shots that sell. I understand that feeling because not long ago I had it too. And in fact, yes, you can make good sales if you work in the hot subjects of the moment. That's why every month I upload an episode of Shoot and Sell. But there is still a gigantic demand for evergreen content. And these are those very specific photos or videos depicting the million different topics that a buyer could be searching for. And making good use of these subjects around you is one of the lessons of the My Best Selling Files episode, and also a topic that I cover on my online course. And speaking about that, I hate advertising, but you should definitely take a look at this course. I am constantly updating it with techniques and lessons to be sure all students have all they need to know to make the most out of stock footage and stock photography. So no matter if you have been a contributor for a long while or if you're just getting started, consider taking the course. I'm still uploading a lot of updates on the course, and that's why I'm still selling it for the Udemy price. That means that if you use this discount code, you can get it for less than $20. Anyway, let's go back to the focus of the video. The main message I'm trying to communicate is there are two big types of content that you could work on, and the bestsellers of 2018 will make that clear. There is the evergreen content and there is the trendy content. The trendy content includes topics that have a growing interest. For example, the latest iPhone, Amazon's Alexa, self-driving cars, etc. Topics that are strong now and might get you sales fast, but might also get old in the future. The evergreen content, on the other hand, is made of subjects that are perpetual. These are topics that may not get you sales fast, but will take longer to get useless. I am not saying one is better than the other, and also not saying that you should pick one of them. These are just two alternatives that you could work on. My Brazilian flag video, for example, was very popular during 2014 and 2016 when we had the Olympic Games and the World Cup in Brazil, but right now it is still useful to anyone that wants to work with the subject Brazil. This is an example of a video that could work on both ways. I hope this trendy evergreen stuff makes sense to you. This is a good lesson that helped me a lot when I learned about it. So now let's talk about the 2018 bestsellers of the stock agencies. Sadly, no stock agency releases decent data about what files sold the most during the period of a year. The best resource comes from Pond5. It's a list of at least 20 videos and 20 pictures that sold the most during every month. I won't show you these 500 files, but you can find them in Creative Income/2018 top sellers. There's also no way to find out which one sold the most, so I'm organizing them in categories. Okay guys, let's go to the bestsellers. 2018 was the year of the aerial shots. At least 45 of the bestsellers were made using a drone. The category is growing so much that DJI and Pond5 partnered to create and promote the best aerial shots made by drone operators. The competition is huge too. If you search for aerial on Shutterstock, you're going to get way more than 1 million results. Having aerial shots doesn't mean that you're going to have sales, so try to explore what subjects or what locations still lack good aerial options. And if you think drones are the only way to produce aerial shots, then you're wrong. Take a look at this bestseller zooming into the Pentagon. Do you really believe one would be able to fly over the Pentagon? I mean, this guy, he really deserves it. He probably took a screenshot from Google Earth, applied zooming, blurred out the edges and added some cars in After Effects. This probably took him less than an hour, and there he is, one of the 2018 bestsellers. Let's go to the next point: 2D and 3D animations. At least 33 bestsellers of the footage category were made with 2D or 3D animations. Some of them are extremely realistic and probably done by a team of 3D professionals. and a few others are actually quite simple to reproduce and still communicate the concept very well. I personally like this one of the Mona Lisa painting, a very creative way to animate a famous static image. This is editorial, of course. Portraits are a really good example of evergreen content. They have been among the best sellers for a while and should stay there for a good time. One common thing among these files is how well they communicate cultural diversity. It might be the age, the activity, the profession, the clothing, the background, etc. This kind of shot can be used in innumerable ways. I like this one with the girl putting a VR headset. The background has a guy walking with a paper and a team sitting by a desk, which makes it clear that they are game designers. The colors, her clothes, and her style are all very well selected. This is definitely teamwork. The next category is the objects category, and it's another example of long duration content and quite easy to be reproduced. The best sellers in this category are all flawlessly focused on specific subjects and/or concepts. Creative angles and isolated backgrounds seem to be the key to make your file stand out in the crowd. I've seen this video with the shower head in many other agencies too. The way the camera was positioned is pretty creative and makes the shot very unique. Also, notice how the subject is isolated with nothing in the background. We cannot ignore how much the news affect the sales on stock agencies. Poverty, wars, politics, and even sport events have a strong influence on what is selling. The multiple storms during this year, the wildfires, and other natural disasters were responsible for some bestsellers too. This kind of content is usually submitted as editorial, so it might be a good idea to work on creative ways to explore this content under commercial usage. This one is among the bestsellers and was submitted as commercial. It's not visually interesting like the others, but the fact that you can't recognize the place makes it possible to be used for other storms too. I don't doubt the author of this clip changes the metadata every time there is a new storm or hurricane. In the same line, the vintage category is growing stronger every year. I believe most of them are made after public domain content, adding some effects on top. Point 5 seems to bring better results than the other in this category because they allow multiple takes in the same clip. This is a dangerous area because the rules are not that clear about what is and what is not public domain, and also what you can really make with this. So proceed with caution on this one. Some contributors are also making good sales by reproducing these old shots. This astronaut, for example, it's clearly not Neil Armstrong. Self-driving cars was also a strong subject last year and will keep getting stronger in the future. You can't easily get one of these cars, but you can definitely reproduce this concept. This example among the bestsellers is my favorite. If you look closely, you can even see a glimpse of what should be the arm of a person turning the wheel. This proves how you don't need a self-driving car to work with this. And here are some more categories that were always among the bestsellers. This will only get you sales with high quality material or very specific shots. They are sports, technology, business, nature, and education. A good part of the best-selling files focus on these categories. There are already thousands of excellent options for the buyer, so you have to be smart if you plan to explore them. One way to do it is getting very specific, like this one explores Paralympic race, and this one shows a man using technology in agriculture, an uncommon background. And there are actually way more files and categories than the ones that I just showed to you, and just to mention a few of them: backgrounds, cities, animals, arts, food, relationship, crowds, science, medical, babies, green energy, traveling, hyperlapses, industry, economy, and way more than this. I won't show you all of them because it would really take at least 1 hour to do so, but you can always check the whole list, as I said, using the link below, which is also in the description. And now I want to know about you. What were your best sellers in 2018? If there is a good number of people participating, I guess we can do our next video with our own personal best sellers. What do you think about this? After all, this is how creative income works. We are a community learning together how to achieve financial freedom. It was nice to be with you in one more video. See you in the next one.